can't stop here. This is bad country.
What's good, people? Agent Jules reporting for duty. Oh boy, it's time to talk about Smiling Friends. This one came out of the blue for me. It wasn't until it pretty much was announced that I found out what Smiling Friends was. And when I watched it, man, it blew me out of the water. It was incredibly good for, something that I had no idea what it was about. So I want to talk about it because also it's created by a YouTuber, Psychicpebbles. So this is another example of, in a way, this is another indie creator, even though, he was sanctioned by Adult Swim. In my book, it's an indie project. He had indie origins, and sure enough, he's making his own show. So, let's go ahead and buckle into our favorite office where we help people get friendship. Let's go ahead and help a very, very sad man with a gun to his head. Let's go ahead and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Let's go ahead and get our cheese and talk Smiling Friends. So before going into it, of course, let's go ahead and talk about the Speedpaint. This is an homage to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, particularly the Ralph Steadman painting of the car scene. Which one I'm talking about? We can't stop here. This is backcountry. And so, I decided because it's very weird and very wild, I wanted to, do Charlie and Pim from Smiling Friends, riding around in the red car, going around, being super weird looking, doing that, signature Ralph Steadman, wacky perspective, wacky anatomy kind of stuff. I really loved drawing this, particularly because I didn't have to pay attention to anatomy too much, because the hands are all weird and the heads are all weird. It was actually kind of refreshing. It was just a matter of making sure I was matching the style of Ralph Steadman as opposed to worrying about perspective and anatomy and all of that nonsense that artists gotta do when they gotta make a realistic looking picture or at least have realistic proportions or all that nonsense. So yeah, that's the explanation there. So, Psychicpebbles. I don't want to say I was never a fan. I never really sought out his work. I saw a lot of his work without really connecting it to him directly. I obviously saw the hellbenders stuff because that's pretty zany. I'm familiar with, of course, his infamous Get Out of My Car sketch that he did based on real dialogue between an Uber driver and a rude passenger. That was fun. Of course, I recognize him from that Zone 10 interview, if you know what I'm talking about. He really wasn't someone I paid attention to as closely as, for example, Harry Partridge or Max G or even Vivian Medrano, until I saw Smiling Friends. Smiling Friends, after watching the pilot of it, I believe is Adult Swim at its finest. Yes, it's a very weird show. The premise is basically a company called the Smiling Friends, and their job is to cheer people up. And you got the main players are Charlie and Pim, and they go out to this really depressed guy named Desmond to try to cheer him up. But all kinds of weird, non sequitur, zany stuff happens in the episode, as you would expect from an Adult Swim cartoon. But they were able to do all of that zaniness while still being coherent and precise in the storytelling, and I really admire that. They were able to tell a story from beginning, middle, and end. This is about characters who are trying to make a depressed person happy, but fail until the very ends, where they have to save their friend from one of the non sequitur things that happened by Desmond, the press guy, shooting one of the bleeblies, the weird non sequitur things that are causing the problems. He realizes he's found his calling in life and he becomes happy again. But of course, during the entire episode, Pim, who's this prim proper happy fellow, is slowly being beaten down by the realization that life is actually really depressing, and at the end of the episode, he's depressed. So it's got structure, nice, clear story structure, while still being weird. And because Smiling Friends is able to do both of those things, not only simultaneously, but seamlessly, it is proof that this is really good writing and really good story structure that we are seeing here. There has been a slew of some adult animation that has been not so good. And it's kind of disheartening because you'd think that animation geared toward adults would have a little more effort put into it. But unfortunately, it seems that a lot of people think they can just skim by with just basically low effort storytelling and animation, as long as they say dirty words all the time and they make funny jokes. And they think they can just kind of, I guess for lack of a better term, like brute force their way through 22 minutes by saying zany stuff and making inappropriate jokes without having to worry about good story structure, without having to worry about, character design or good animation or even like good looking cartoons at all. And then along comes Smiling Friends, which looks weird. They still do the crazy, like, hyper grotesque detail stuff in some of the characters, but it's very clear that it is done as a labor of love as opposed to a begrudging reluctance to, do it fine, we'll do an animation kind of thing. You can tell that they love animating. You can tell that, Psychicpebbles and the team really love what they're creating here. This just goes to show me that the future of animation really is in the hands of the independent creators. It seems like they're the ones pumping out some of the best stuff I've seen as of recently. And I really like that because the theme I have been noticing very recently is that the entertainment industry is decentralizing. And I think it was that way for a while. It was starting to trend that way for a good long time. But the thing that hyper accelerated it was the pandemic. Everyone's locked in. They can't go out. They can't go to work. People can't go places. So in order for the entertainment industry to survive, people had to work from home. They had to do things remotely, which told people, I don't have to be in LA. I don't have to be in these big cities. I could be anywhere and create, because now we are being forced to do that. Now, this is just more proof that not only is independent creation viable, but now it seems that independent creation is better than some of the stuff being made by the so-called professionals. Because Smiling Friends blew me out of the water when I saw that. I was like, it has been a long time since I've seen an Adult Swim pilot that was that well done. And it's not even like a big magnum opus either. It's just goofy. It's funny, but it's smart about it. It's well constructed. They clearly had a goal in mind and they met it, and they were able to do it while being zany about it. Before I end this, I do this with independent creators because they're more likely to answer this, but Psychicpebbles, Zach, if you happen to be watching this, which you are more likely to than an industry professional who was up on their high ivory tower, I want to say that you really outdid yourself with Smiling Friends. I really loved it. I really love what you did with it. I'm hoping that Adult Swim makes it into a full-fledged cartoon. But if they don't, I hope you are able to find the resources to either make it yourself or to create something else independently. Because it is people like you, people I have lauded in this video, the Harry Partridges, the Vivian Madranos, the Max G's. You are the ones who are going to be the next wave of great animation in the history of animation. So keep working at it, man. In a way, I hope to join you because I'm working on my own stuff myself. And seeing your work encourages me. So with all that said, I think we'll go ahead and wrap that up for today. So you people know what to do here. If you like what you see and you want to see more, go ahead and tickle the buttons. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when I post next. In addition, go ahead and comment below. Let me know your thoughts about Smiling Friends. Have you ever even heard of Psychicpebbles prior to Smiling Friends? Do you even know what Smiling Friends is? If not, go and watch it. It's great. Also, go ahead and share this video because it's good for you, it's good for me, it's good for the channel, it's good for the algorithm, it's good for the air quality, and it shows people that you watch good stuff. And of course, if you wish to follow me elsewhere, you can go ahead and hit up my social media links here on the screen. It's particularly at minds.com, where I also post these videos in addition to the finished product of the speed paints. I always promote mines because they are the new alternative media that I am pushing for to kind of combat against the death grip that these tech monopolies have over us. You know, it's good to have market competition. So, with all that said, I thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you all stick around. And until next time, adieu, seals.